What's up, Internet World? Matthew here. I am sitting with the effervescent Mike Wall.
Nice.
Yeah, you like that
I
one,
dissolve
right?
in water fast?
Yeah,
Is that it? And I fizz up?
Yeah, big, bright, and steamy. He is here today to talk about health and wellness and his experience as an entrepreneur and the man who's been promoting Smoothie Life. So, Mike, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Matt.
All right, so we actually were talking about this. We met 2002, 2003.
Yes, definitely.
years
right
ago.
out of high school, like within a year easily. And that was, it had to be a year.
Yeah.
I'm going through dates in my head right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm terrible.
Yeah, so it was within a year of, let's say, graduating high school.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just take your word for it. But it was interesting. I wanted to, when I started this channel and I started my other one, you were actually on the top of my list of people I wanted to sit down and talk with.
I was also on top of the world.
Yes, you were. You absolutely were.
Yeah.
But the reason I really wanted to bring you on is because you were one of those people that I have known to always be focused on getting the most out of life. Physically, mentally. And so when I first encountered you, I remember you were always talking about that, improving health from many different angles. So maybe you can give us a little bit of a background?
Yeah, I mean, my mentality on everything in life is focus on what you can do for whatever reason. And as I'm getting older, it's becoming more obvious that that's not necessarily a default trait of everybody.
Yeah,
and my mentality about everything is definitely a little different. And I noticed that in a lot of documentaries about people that have done larger things or business ventures and stuff. And what was interesting that you were saying is that I had these ideas back.
Way back.
Right out of high school.
And they already seemed established by the time I met you.
Yeah, 20 to 21, I had like my idea of how I'm going to live the rest of my life already.
Right. And that kind of became your mission going forward for what you wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. When I was working in vitamin stores and then just talking to people in general, the question was always about, like, what's the difference between drinking an iced tea and drinking a supplement at that time? You know what I mean? Or all this stuff's like, why do we have all these great ingredients that just aren't being used? And I realized at any point, if somebody was to take the Coca-Cola strategy, they were to take the Snapple strategies and things like that, like just produce things that people want, the game would be over, you know? So obviously, I've been saying the same thing forever. Is the reminder of all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, consistency definitely counts for something in the game. You've always maintained that level of integrity, and I think that's very respectable with the different companies that you've worked with and worked from, the platforms that you're on. Speaking of, we're actually here on his Facebook Live.
My Facebook Live.
Your Facebook Live. So you've been doing this for a while too. And you've always maintained this, I don't want to say bombacity, but you've always been like really out there and just willing to promote and talk about, health from all these different angles. So what I would like to know, because a lot of people are going to be watching this. They have their own issues. A lot of people have been trying to lose weight, build muscle, whatever it is. And you and I both know it's a long haul, to make any kinds of improvements. What has kept you going to constantly move in a better direction?
Interesting. I mean, part of it was the fact that I wasn't fundamentally a healthy person. I mean, that helps. I mean, that's pretty much the thing. The other thing is, like, I've been performing since 14, even technically younger, right? So, like, I have no care for people watching. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
No inhibition.
I think the important aspect of how people live and what they put in their body supersedes our decision making. So on a moral standpoint, I don't think it's an option. If you think that you can even if you're wrong, but if you think you can legitimately help people or do something positive, I don't think it's your choice. So there's a lot of mentalities I have that produce that thing. But there is something from all the business, famous people, active people, people that build communities, there's this thing, and don't know if people find it or if they have it already, but there's this thing, you know, and I hashtag go mode, but you don't have that. Let's think about maybe.
Right.
Like it is done, and
it's
done, and it's done, and a lot of it's about putting options out there. So let's say you have 100 things that might happen. Right.
All these desires.
I publish everything publicly so that people can see how these things actually kind of come together. And I can't publish everything because that would be a little crossing a line in some relationships, right?
Yeah, getting a little sticky at that point.
So if I know music's coming out professionally, to respect the art, I better practice. Right. If I'm gonna practice, I'll practice publicly because how many people had to re-practice becoming famous, right? Right. That's kind of a stupid thing.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, the more I see people being self-conscious, the more they're trying to be aware of the outcome, right? The less likely they are to do anything, right? So let's say you wanted to be a giant interviewer, right? So what we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So you have to do the interview, you have to promote the interview, you have to actually take the steps. Right. So I noticed that when people saw me do something big, they thought I was lucky or whatever they think, right? So you're struggling to create magic all the time. Right. You're doing something that you morally believe in. Right. You're effectively getting to people. The last thing you want to hear is that they don't know what the steps are. They don't see the struggles. They don't see the reality, right? So when I sat down with people that want to be into business of any type, right, or do anything that isn't conventional 9 to 5, right, they won't take the step to go live on their own platforms, literally,
right?
Literally, right? So if they won't do it once for one day, how are they going to do it for 10 years, right? So to be a host, 10, 15 years, right?
Right.
If you didn't do hosting for 10 or 15 years, you didn't even start yet.
Yeah, sure.
So now you got 10 or 15 years in front of you. So what happens is my Facebook Live, after years with 30-something thousand subscribers and no one cares about this, they care about famous people. I only have 4 viewers right now that show up live, right? Yesterday I had 4,000 views almost total. And this is all small for me, but it's just to make a point.
Right.
Why would you have more than I have?
Right.
So when you go on and you see one person, you don't take action. You don't do anything. You don't respect the few people that might be watching, and you're not also taking the steps to succeed. That's the way that I see it. So it comes down to, do you actually want what you're doing to exist?
I love that.
For people genuinely, then you shouldn't have a choice. That would be my opinion.
Dude, that was like the most perfect circular answer. You came right back around to it, and I absolutely love that. Because, you know, as an entrepreneur, you know, both of us, you know, there's that internal drive, I think. And a lot of people, you know, most people, let's face it, most people aren't entrepreneurs. They don't have that internal drive to risk things and go out and just do. But I think it's the same mentality when it comes to getting healthier. You know, if you want to lose weight, you know, you're thinking of the 30 pounds you have to lose. You're not paying attention to the 1. You know, if you are an interviewer, you know, if you're into music or whatever you're doing otherwise, you know, business-wise, if you're not going to be authentic and if you're not going to care about the 1 member of your audience who's listening, who may really, you know, need what you have to say, then you're never going to sit in front of an audience of 30,000 people, you know. And I know trainers, and I worked at Equinox. I had trainers who were absolutely fantastic, and we're doing DVDs and we're going out there, and the only reason, and by the way, a couple of you are going to know who I'm talking about, but the only reason that those people got big was because they cared about each person who was in their spin class when they had just started. And as big as they had gotten at that point, the last I talked to them, they cared about every person who bought the DVD, every person who showed up to their overbooked spin class and their overbooked, you know, Zumba class and whatever it is. Yeah. So as long as you have that level of care and authenticity about the people you're reaching as a business person, if you want to improve your health, you're going to care about every vitamin you take, every sit-up you do. And when you have that level of drive, I think it bleeds into everything like you said. Mike, that was a fantastic answer. I hope that answers a lot of people's questions. And if that doesn't light a fire under your ass, I don't know what else
will. I'm professional at talking to myself. So I practice doing everything at the lowest level, at the biggest level at the same time. So that's why those things happen, because practiced communicating.
Right.
It's also my thoughts,
Yeah.
and doing it, So
Yeah.
if I'm a CEO for years, you have that thing. Like, you already did it. You have that thing in you.
Right.
We should do a double episode, I think, on this topic.
Oh yeah,
'cause we didn't get
absolutely.
very far.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we're winding up on this interview. I'm going to be continuing with Mike on More Than a Machine, but I am declaring you a monster through and through for your level of consistency, your level of drive, and the fact that you've always, longer than I've known you, which is a long time, been focused on getting the most out of life physically and mentally. And dude, you're a monster.
Cool.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you,
I really
man.
appreciate this. All right, so I'm going to be including all of his links, relevant links. So we've got your website, we've got Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff's going to be down below. And follow Mike on all those platforms and keep up with him live. He does a lot of live videos, and it's always a good time.
Playing guitar drunk.
Playing guitar drunk.
That adds to the health and wellness.
Yeah, and shirtless sometimes too. So you ladies definitely want to.
That was 2 months ago.
That was 2 months ago.
Yeah, I have phases.
You have phases?
Yeah. Next time I'll be on stage with somebody doing a guitar solo or something might happen just because, some festival.
Absolutely rolling into it all the time. Mike, thanks a lot. Cool. All right, everybody. Get out there. Imitate him.
See you later.
If that's all right to say. Peace, love, and protein pancakes. Hello, Internet. Matthew again. So a couple days after my interview with Mike, I looked over the video to put together for all of you, and I realized we talked a lot about him as a person and an entrepreneur and the philosophy behind healthy eating and healthy drinking, but we didn't really talk much about the product that he had brought, that he's been the face of right now, Smoothie Life. So this is my quick little review. He was kind enough to leave me a couple of bags as a sample. He left me 3. I killed one because it was amazing. The vanilla was absolutely incredible. It did not last. But 2 other flavors left over here still. I got juicy watermelon and the rich cream latte, which I actually just made for myself. It's simple. It's just a powder. You mix it up with water, shake it in your fun container, and you're good to go. Nutritional information is easy to read. There's not really any complex words here, so that's a big plus. It is all soy, dairy, and gluten-free and sugar-free, vegan, of course, too. And you can get more of these at drinksmoothielife.com. I know I will be going there very shortly to get the vanilla because it's just absolutely incredible. There's the chocolate flavor, and I think he said when we spoke he was working on a couple other flavors as well. But it's really easy to mix up. The juicy watermelon is actually very tangy. It's got a bit of a kick. I tried the lemon, the lemon iced tea? I think it was the other one I tried before he left. That was really good too. The teas have like a little bit more of like a kick to them, and it's just really incredible. I mixed this with orange juice, so I get a little extra vitamin C in there. But the nutritional information is easy enough to read again. Really delicious, really healthy, and for the price point, you really can't beat it. You're actually getting something healthy for about the price of something unhealthy. So, highly recommend it. Really easy to use. I mix mine the latte one sometimes with some other plant-based protein powders just to get a little more protein. This has 5 grams. I'm a little greedy. I like a little bit more, so I'll just throw in something else. But it's really delicious, easy to make. So I'm going to have all the links below. Follow on Facebook. Mike does a lot of live videos, posts recipes all the time. Sometimes it's just him jamming, drinking Smoothie Life. But it's really good. A lot of good information over there. And you can follow him on Instagram as well at Smoothie Life Co. And also hashtag Smoothie Life. And it's drinksmoothielife.com and as well on Facebook. So that's it. Go get yourself some. It's delicious. And I will be talking to you all soon. Peace, love, and protein shakes.